as the world becomes more interested in what products contain, the way that an industry is going to advance is to become more facile and have more ways of sharing information. Seagate has been on the leading edge of doing that. Seagate is the world's leading producer of disk drives for the storage of digital information. What we are looking to be is the company that can differentiate with our customers around quality as well as environmental compliance.
Both consumers and OEMs want to make sure that there's nothing that's inherently toxic in the product itself, and we want to know everything that's in our product so that we can be transparent. Strategic environmental compliance means putting in place a framework and a strategy that allows us to meet a myriad of customer and regulatory requirements today that are changing over time. What we saw as we developed our strategy was that there were sort of these patchwork systems that addressed all these requirements. They were very expensive, they were very inefficient, and they didn't really result in good compliance. And we came up with a sort of a blueprint for a strategic approach to compliance. We set rules early on. We were going to use standard reporting formats that our suppliers could leverage the data they give to Seagate and send the same data to other competitors and other companies. We realized early on that we would either have to spend an awful lot of money on resources or we would have to put in place some tools that could help us automate the process. We also realized early on that we wanted to get full disclosure, and this was a big hurdle to get over, asking our suppliers to tell us as much as possible about all the substances and all the materials in their parts.
We've had other companies ask us about our process and really tell us that we are 2 to 3 years ahead of them in being able to collect and manage the data efficiently.
When you commit to the full material disclosure, you are committing to collecting a lot of data and reporting on a lot of data. And in order to do that, you have to make it easy for everybody. There's so much data to be collected and so many reports to be generated that automation tools are absolutely critical. And once we realized that we needed an automation tool, we had to go through the pretty extensive process to select one. We had a lot of criteria, but they can be grouped into 3 basic categories. One is functionality, the other one is IT maturity, IT architecture, ease of support, ease of integration, and the third one is cost. And Teamcenter scored higher than it to open on all 3 of those, and the team was unanimous in selecting it.
Seagate's environmental compliance team is very small. I'm a staff of 1 person, and we manage all these data from our suppliers. We do that because we have the right tools in place and because we have the right strategy in place.
Our competitors and others in the industry are playing catch-up, so every time there's a new requirement, they have to scramble to change the way that they're collecting data or the types of data that they're collecting.
We only have 1 form that contains all of our data. We bring it into a software tool that we use to process those data and grade the data against compliance. That same software tool helps us automate collecting the data from suppliers. We have on the order of 70 or 80,000 supporting documents, laboratory reports, and test data. We have on the order of 6,000 full disclosure IPC 1752 forms. In order to actually use those data, you have to have a tool that can get into that database and search through it in different ways.
And Teamcenter Environmental Compliance is an excellent automation tool that allows us to do just that.
So we ask for everything up front. We can go out and track chemicals and related chemicals and chemical families, and we can much more quickly assess where we stand in terms of these regulatory and as well non-regulatory restrictions. One good example is the European Union REACH directive. When that directive was launched and the list of substances of very high concern came out, companies scrambled to produce new forms, to go poll their suppliers, to go look through their materials and find out where these SVHCs occurred. We had our first response to the REACH SVHC list within 15 minutes. We confirmed that by polling a subset of our suppliers within the next 48 hours. So within a couple of days, we had a very good, solid answer to REACH compliance that we could give our customers with a high degree of credibility. There are regulatory compliance issues, and they get a lot of attention. But for Seagate, our risk is that at some point we would ship a product that we represent as compliant to a customer specification that for some reason is not. And so we have to have very good, complete, and credible systems in place to make our customers confident that when they buy a product from us, it meets their requirements so that they don't get caught in not complying with a market or regulatory requirement.
Our approach is unique because we have spent the last couple of years really being diligent about understanding every single material that is in our product. Other companies and our competitors we know have done that to some degree, but the way that we're managing information across our product lines has allowed us to be much more responsive to our customers when they're asking a question, what is in your product?
We've got a strategy that's best for our business, best for our markets, and oh, by the way, best for the environment.